Hello and welcome to SoBricks. I'm Adam and this is SoBricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Star Wars Naboo Starfighter and Naboo set. This is set number 9674. It has 56 pieces, and I paid $20 for this. This is retired. It is sealed. Well, to the best of my knowledge, the place that I got it from said it was sealed. It looks to me like it is still sealed, original. This is from 2012. When this released in 2012, it was $10. So over the next decade plus, to pay double the price or $10 more for it, doesn't seem that crazy to me. These are really interesting. I think SoBricks, I think they might have talked about this series of like the planet sets somewhat recently. I may be a little bit behind, but I think they mentioned it in a video, and I had kind of forgot about them, and then I had the opportunity to pick this up. I didn't have to get it shipped to me or anything. It does seem like for a sealed one, the market price is about 20, maybe down to 15, maybe up, above 20, depending on whatever, which, I'll talk about more at the end. But these are an interesting concept. And I mean, at the very least, these big planetary pieces that are all printed and everything there, those are, unique, expensive to produce comparatively, and so that's kind of interesting. There's probably I don't know how much value there is in keeping this sealed, but I really wanted to take a look at this. This is from series 1. I don't know if it's like the first one that came out in a series or not. It might be. Yeah, it's a 7.4, 7.5 is Sebulba. Ooh, that looks like a cool one. TIE Interceptor Death Star looks okay. Yavin 4, that one looks pretty cool. Twin Plod Kankar, Endor, Camino, Coruscant, Asteroid Field, Hoth, Endor, Alderaan. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, like, all of these are kind of cool. It does seem like some of these are very expensive, just as like a cursory glance. The Tantive 4 one might be like $40 new, $40 used. B-Wing Endor in the $20 used, 30 something new. The Snowspeeder and Hoth looks to be like $70 new and $50 used. Those are all Series 4. Series 3 stuff is in the 20s and 30s used and new. Wow, I guess I didn't expect that. I mean, some of them are reasonable. The Twin Pod Cloud Car and Bespin is pretty reasonable, it looks like. The X-Wing Starfighter in Yavin 4 is similar to what I paid for this one. I know Sebulba's is in the interesting range. So yeah, these are a unique little series they did, and I'm trying to see how many things were in the series 1 or whatever. There might only be a couple, maybe only 2 or 3 or something like that. But either way, very interesting to me. I'm excited to take a look at this, and that's what we're going to do. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Star Wars Planet Series Naboo Starfighter and Naboo set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, there's links in the description. All that stuff really helps. This comes together fast. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego Star Wars Planet Series Series 1 Naboo Starfighter and Naboo set. This is fun. I know, like, they obviously stopped doing these, and I guess I would say maybe it's because they weren't selling particularly well or people weren't really interested in them. They're in this interesting kind of price point and, amount of stuff that I think maybe in when these were coming out in 2012 or whatever, maybe this wasn't the best value proposition. I'm not. Well, I don't know. If they were to do something like this today, I actually think the value proposition is pretty good here. But I'll get to that as we go through this. And the first thing we will look at is the minifigure, because you actually do get a minifigure in this set. So you get a Naboo pilot. Now, this is just a non-named generic pilot for a Naboo starfighter. They have a blaster here. And we can see the helmet, similar to like one that Anakin, the young Anakin, wears at various points when he might pilot a Naboo starfighter. So we have the helmet, it's two pieces, the goggles and then the actual helmet there. The face for this character, pretty generic, but fine. They have no alternate face, no alternate hair or anything like that. Looking at the torso, they have kind of a nicely detailed thing. We got like thin lines for different creases, for different details. Kind of have like a hood or like lapels that go around there with that slightly different color. Good detail underneath, which is really nice. No printing on the midsection, no printing on the legs, no printing on the arms. Back of the torso, no printing there either. So all in all, not the most like amazing minifigure by any sort of standards. I don't know how common of a minifigure this is. I don't even know if many of the Naboo Starfighter sets, like Playscale or any other thing that come with a minifigure, if these would be in them, because I think a lot of the times it is sort of the scene or referencing the scene where Anakin pilots one. There probably have been a couple other versions of this character. It seems like this character is not particularly valuable for any real amount of money or anything like that. I'm wondering if I can see, because I do know there was a different iteration of this character. So we have one with the medium nougat jacket and one with the tan jacket, and that one was in one set. It was in the Naboo Starfighter from 2015, and that one also comes with. Okay, interesting. That looks kind of like a fun set. I should try to get that set. And then the one with the tan, I want to say, was also maybe in one set, which was Naboo N1 Starfighter and Vulture Droid. That one's from 2007. That looks kind of interesting too. And so there haven't been a ton of these, it doesn't appear. I'm not sure if the red jumpsuit one came in many sets. It came in a Naboo Starfighter set in 2011, and then this one in 2012. So not a ton of them out there, but that is okay. That is fine. Not crazy detailed, but it is a fine figure, and nice that you get one. And then the rest of the set is essentially this little build here, as well as this. And I actually want to kind of go over this Naboo planet here right away, because it's like kind of one of the bigger draws for the set, I think. It's also potentially why the sets or the series didn't do that well. Until I'm proven wrong, I'm just assuming that these didn't do particularly well. But this is really, really interesting here. So this is the kind of capsule that the plastic bag of pieces are in. This is featured prominently on the box, and it actually has like a little cutout on the box here for where this would stick out from both sides. So it is like a little container here. We do add a couple pieces, so there are studs on either sides of these. We have the octagonal piece down here, which helps it kind of stay flat, stay stationary. Up top here, we have kind of like the ornament hanging type thing there, which actually, I don't know if they were intended. There was an image in the instructions about like tying a string through here, but no like Lego string is included. But maybe people would hang this up. I wouldn't put that past anybody. So we do add on those couple of pieces. If I pop those off, we do have the 4 studs there, as well as I believe a pinhole. So I think that would fit like a Technic pin or a stud in there. And the bottom is the same, but it's because it doesn't have anti-studs, they just both have studs on them. It's nice to have a little bit of a base there. This is actually pretty unstable. You'd have to get it right on the 4 studs, so you can't as easily just plop it down and have it be okay. It's 2 pieces besides those extra pieces there. We can kind of open this up. Inside has, I don't know what color that is. Is that kind of a nougat-y color or dark tan kind of color? So it's 2 sort of hemispheres here. I'm trying to see if the print is the same, and I believe it is. So they didn't have to make like 2 separate prints for these. It looks to me like these are the same print, and then you get a nice effect that makes them look different by not like matching up the parts that are identical to each other. And actually they don't even allow that, because how they connect is these little flaps, and there's ridges in there, there's little indents in here, grooves in here, and so these are always going to be offset and kind of close up like that. So it would be impossible for me to try to line these up. Also, we're flipping one over, so it does offer, like, even though they're the same print, they're distinct. I think the printing actually on here is really, really good. Like, the color that is the same on the inside that's shown through is nice. The layers are really nice. And there's not like a ton of color bleed through. Most of the colors on here are darker, and then the like clouds that are all over here, I think, is a really nice effect done. Like, the production on it is quite good, and it looks very I don't want to say realistic necessarily, but it's very convincing. I think this is a high quality print. There's a lot of layers of color on here, which is pretty cool. And these are big pieces. These are big, interesting, unique, specialized pieces. And as someone who might fancy specialized pieces at various points throughout the Lego history, like, this is really, really interesting to me, and interesting to compare something like this, like all the production that went into this, and all the other Planet ones, because they had the same mold essentially, but then different prints and different color plastic for all of these throughout the series. And we don't have that same kind of I really have a comparable thing to that here. So I think this is really interesting. Could be a totally cool ornament. Also can just stand on its own little display. Could be a sort of storage thing for Lego, for a minifigure, for whatever. I think this is cool. I would like to get more of these. And then the next thing we can look at is the Naboo Starfighter itself. So this on its own, feels kind of like a polybag, maybe a small one. They've done Naboo Starfighters in lots of different, like, there's been many different play scale ones. There have probably been polybag ones. There have probably been advent calendars ones. I don't think there's ever been like a UCS scale of this, although there was one that had like actually chromed out pieces, and maybe that was like sort of the collector version. I don't know what the scale of it was though. But very iconic ship from the prequels, the first prequel, the Phantom Menace, and this is a good representation of it. So we start with kind of this angled plate with the cutout. We add some of the 1x4 kind of wing angled plates in the yellow on that. Then we can add the like keyhole or key ring piece with the hole there, build out the wings a little bit, some other angled plates 1x3s. We just add yellow jumpers all across here, and we can tile out the wings, use this nice kind of rounded piece, curved sloped piece there with the ridges for the front, which is really cool. Just 1x1s with clips on the end. We have these bar elements that we put the gray, light bluish gray cone on the front of, clip them in, and then we put the yellow cone behind that. Building up here, you know, they didn't have the 1x5, so we have a 1x1 up here and then a 1x4, so it hangs out a little bit, or hangs over. We put the tile there. We have a little space for the cockpit. I believe the cheese slopes are different because I do not think, you know, that little like kind of maybe it's hard to see. There's like a little bit of a divot. Yeah, from a certain angle you can kind of see that, which is almost looks like a like carve out for where a stud might be. I don't think they do that anymore on these cheese wedges. Behind that, we have a couple of Technic bricks, 1x1s with the Technic pinhole, little metallic drum lacquered silver stud on top. We add a blue, like 3 lengths long Technic pin, add on this barrel here, a half pin with the stud on it there, and then the same kind of bar pieces with the cone piece on the end. This is a super serviceable Naboo Starfighter. It's relatively sturdy here and, you know, swooshable. It's little. This is like not too far off from a polybag. It might be a little bit light compared to like the X-Wing polybags that are from a couple years ago, or compared to even the AT-ST or whatever, different things that have been in polybag form, or TIE interceptors, TIE fighters who have been in polybag form in recent years. So maybe it's a little bit small. I mean, the footprint of this is fine, and I think it's recognizable, so that's good. Would have loved to get like all drum lacquered stuff. I don't know if that would look right, or get, you know, those chromed out pieces, but I don't think they've made those like real chrome plated plastic pieces you know, in a long time. So this is like the ship you get, but I think part of this is, you know, it's not minifig scale. It does come with the minifig. There's an element to this set that is like display oriented, collectible kind of oriented here, and the rest of the build is actually this little stand. I thought this was really cool. This actually surprised me, because we've seen Lego do a lot of like display stands for UCS stuff, and for like, you know, now we have like the helmets and the gloves in Marvel and in Star Wars, and, you know, extending out into other themes and properties as well. And we've, you know, gone in different directions with those. This is a printed tile. It's that 4x4 with just the 4 studs on it. So it's got you know, like a 1x4 of plate, you know, up at the top. And this is all printed. So it says Lego Star Wars Royal N1 Starfighter Naboo Pilot Naboo. And that's like all the stuff that is in this set. It calls out the minifigure, the planet itself, as well as the little ship. The stand itself, pretty rudimentary, just like 2 studs throughout there. I don't know why they used light bluish gray instead of black for that piece, and I don't think it's because they already had used a light bluish gray like 1x4. They hadn't, but anyway, that's in there. And then we just have a couple 2x6s and 2x2s. At the end, we have the 2x2 with the vertical pin coming off of it. We had one of these barrel type connectors, and then the half pin with the stud there. And that's the little stand. So it's small. The print is another thing that's like a unique piece. Is not a sticker. At some points, the placards for various sets were stickers, or have been in the past. And then there was like, at least for UCS stuff, I think they said they were no longer doing stickers for those things. And I don't know where we're at on that now, but back in the day, presumably there's maybe 12 or 16 or 20 of these Planet series there. Or Lego was making, the prints for these. I'm assuming some of them have not identical prints. I'm not sure. I just don't know if that would work for like the Death Star or whatever. Maybe they would. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to double check on that, so don't quote me. But even if they are, the same print, they're making these big pieces, printed pieces, unique pieces, large elements, and also the printed kind of tile here, which is really cool to see. And I don't see Lego really making tiny sets like this that include stuff like this. It just doesn't feel like they are willing to do that very much. So that's everything that is in this set. And, essentially we can have this set up to display. We can put Naboo behind this, and this is its own little thing. It actually reminds me a little bit of that Nexonite set I just looked at, which was the Ultimate Lance, which kind of had a little stand. You could make a little display there. There was some more like playability and different stuff into it. This feels like very display oriented and very collectible oriented. They released these. It said Series 1 on the box. They went up to like Series 4, and I think there is actually like a really cool collectible thing. And as collectibles, in recent times, whether it's like trading cards or whatever, have been a weird market throughout history and throughout the last 10 years or last 15 years, 20 years, whatever, certainly in the last 5 years, maybe Lego being considered a collectible was maybe like not yet mainstream, maybe wasn't yet like caught on in the way that I feel like it is now. And that could be part of the issue. I think, having something like this that is sort of display oriented, collectible oriented, would probably do well today in 2025, but maybe I'm way off base, and maybe Lego in this case was a little bit early to try and do something like that. But that is everything here. I think this is cool. I would love to have all of these kind of different ships, different like micro build ships, minifigures, and if they all have the printed placard with the information on them and all these planets, I think that'd be great. I think it would be awesome to have like a winter holiday tree decorated with a bunch of these. Like size wise, this feels like an ornament, and for maybe a Lego Star Wars themed winter holiday or whatever it might be, these would totally work for that. And then on another level, you could even hide, there could be candy in here. There could be little whatever. There's like lots of possibilities for this, for utility for these pieces and this assembly, outside of just display and outside of this set. And that also increases the collectability. Like having all of these from all the different series hanging on a tree or something, I think would look, pretty cool. And so I think this is kind of great. I'll show the extra pieces. You do get some extra of the goggles, that dark translucent or dark trans black, trans brown cheese wedge there, the half pin with the stud, and the drum lacquered silver stud there. Those are all your extra pieces. This set is 56 pieces, one minifigure, and I paid $20 for it. It retailed for $10 in 2012, so 13 years ago, and I don't feel particularly bad about this. As I said at the beginning, I was kind of doing some research while I was recording. Some of these from these Planet sets from other series or from like later in them are worth a lot more money than this one is. It does appear to me that this one was the first one. It is, 9674. The next one is 9675. There isn't one that's like 9673 that's earlier than this. So I think this is probably like the start, and it probably released alongside a couple other ones. But this is like the first one, and then there was a few more, and to collect them all in 2025 would take, kind of an investment. I don't mind paying $20 for this. For the other ones, for the ones that are like, okay, it's $70 to get a sealed one of it, and it might have 75 pieces or something. Well, that is like, I think banking on, or the market is addressing this as if it were a collectible. Like it is a icon of a bygone era in Lego history, Lego Star Wars. They're also like fun and cool in their own right. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them had some semi, rare minifigures or different things, and then all the specialized pieces that come in there, and they're I think maybe the market price is also reflecting the retirement and maybe the amount of that these were produced in back in the day. But I don't know if I would feel like I got a great deal if I paid $70 for one of these. But though I'm not necessarily thinking about it just in terms of the plastic that is in the box. At some point, these type of things, there is a premium for retired sets, and there is for Star Wars, and then there is a premium for displayability, even right out of the gate for MSRP modern sets, and there's also a premium for like collectability of these type of things now, all these years later. So while I paid $20 for this one, it's double the price it retailed at. If we adjusted the $10 in 2012 for inflation and whatever else, in Lego raising prices and all these different things, we're probably not too far off. I felt like $20 was a great buy. It does seem like maybe this particular one, the Naboo Starfighter and Naboo version of this, the one in front of me here, can be purchased for maybe less than $20. That's just what I paid, and I feel fine about it. And $10 in 2012, yeah, like I say, it's like a polybag plus. Getting the micro build and the figure is maybe more than they do in polybags a lot of times, even if this is a little light on pieces. Just for Star Wars, like the mini ships is what I'm referring to. I think they should do figures in those polybags more and now, but then also like this and the extra little things that tip this up to the next level. I think the value proposition's good, and if this was on the shelves for $10 today, I would buy all of these. I would. And so it's interesting to go back and look at these. It's such a unique concept, and I'm here for it. So I really, really like this. I think I got a fair deal, and I will look into getting some other ones, but I can't promise I'm going to go super deep on them. Just right now, that's not the best use of my money probably, and not the best for the channel, but at least for right now, this was really great. I hope you enjoyed the video, and that is it. So if you did enjoy the video, maybe consider clicking the thumbs up and giving a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including maybe more of the Planet series from Lego Star Wars, but then tons of other sets, more Lego Star Wars sets, tons of sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff, old sets, new sets, retired sets. Sometimes I'll review a used set that wasn't sealed, and just tons of different stuff. So if you're interested in any of my videos, maybe consider subscribing. Subscribing helps me a lot. It is free to subscribe to the channel, and it means a lot to me, so thank you very much. And then if you wanted to support the channel in a different way, you can give money to the channel. You can give money directly with like membership, supers, and thanks. There's a Patreon, there's Buy Me a Coffee. There's also kind of the more indirect ways with the affiliate links, which I've talked about in other videos. So all that helps financially support the channel. It's not needed, it's not necessary, but it is greatly appreciated. If for whatever reason this channel had financial support more than what it does now, that would make it more possible to, get these. But that's really a communal effort, not just a one person or a one thing. So I'm just trying to build some sustainability into it. Consider it if you can. Otherwise, just disregard. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All the help means a lot to me, and that is it. So until next time, thanks. Bye.